Hello and welcome to season 2 of Getting Crit Fit, a video series following my progression and preparation for crit racing. In this video I'm going to give you a recap on how last year went for me, as well as an update on my current training and my plans for 2021. So I think it goes without saying, but 2020 was a bit of a show, especially for regional racing here in the UK. The season was just getting underway when we went into the first national lockdown, and due to the measures that have been in place ever since, British cycling has rightfully not sanctioned a return to regular competition. That meant my 2020 season consisted of one race where there were gusts of up to 50 miles an hour, and I lasted 20 minutes before someone lost a wheel in front of me and it was game over. If at the time I knew it was going to be my only race of the season, I probably would have tried a little bit harder to close the gap and save that race. What it did mean is that I didn't manage to complete my goal of getting onto a podium in 2020, but in cycling terms the year wasn't all bad. For starters, in March, a group of us headed over to Tenerife for a week-long training camp. Although I won't be heading back to cycle up that volcano in a hurry, it was great to escape the Yorkshire weather for a week and cycle in the sun. Fingers crossed we'll get a chance to do that again in the near future. Despite having no races to focus on, I was surprised to see my motivation to train was there throughout the whole of 2020. And by the end of the year, I'd made some massive gains, which I've alluded to in other videos. One of those gains was a massive increase in FTP. I went from about 280 watts in December 2019 to just shy of 340 in December 2020. Coupled with the fact that I've lost around about 18 or 19 kilos in that period, that's a ridiculous increase in power to weight ratio. It's only the end of January, but I'm already nearing the end of the third month of training for the 2021 season. This year I decided to start my base training early for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I wanted to maintain as much of that fitness I'd built up over the previous 10 months, and without a race season I didn't really feel that I needed an extended break from the bike. The weather in Yorkshire is also pretty foul in January and early February, and with the likelihood of another lockdown, I wanted to get those long endurance rides in the bag before it got too cold or I had to ride them solo. If there's been one benefit from this pandemic, is that I've had more time to focus on my training, and this year I decided to follow a more traditional base training structure. For me, this consisted of 3 base periods. In the first period, that meant spending most of the time in either zone 1 or zone 2. In the second and longest period, I then started adding in some zone 3 tempo and sweet spot intervals, getting my body ready for some intensity again. I'm now into the third and final phase of base training, and here I'm increasing the intensity once again by adding in some zone 4 threshold intervals. Alongside my sessions on the bike, I've also been doing 1 or 2 strength sessions a week. Though with gyms closed for the majority of the last 3 months, these have mainly been bodyweight sessions, though I suppose these are better than nothing. With England currently in a national lockdown, which seems unlikely to lift anytime in the foreseeable future, I think it's unlikely we'll see a return to regional racing in the spring. My best guess is that we're probably looking at late summer for a return to normal racing. But in reality, that hasn't really changed much in terms of my training. Usually, regional racing in Yorkshire is kind of split into 2 distinct kind of blocks, with the first block in going from April to June, and a second block starting in August running through to late September. So I'm planning for my first peak in fitness to coincide with that first block of races in the unlikely event that they go ahead, with a second peak scheduled for the races towards the back end of the year. Throughout this video series, I'm going to be giving you an in-depth look into my training and preparation over the next few months, and hopefully taking you along to a few races. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.